Today I wanted to talk about your to-do list and your never-ending to-do list, where you do a quarter of the things and then you tack it on to the next day and then add more things to that one. It gives you a never-ending cycle of fake urgency. It makes you feel like there is constantly something that needs to be done, when in reality, if you looked at that list that you made, 80%, 90% of those things aren't even necessary. It just makes you feel accomplished making the list itself. And then that same list that makes you feel accomplished makes you feel like a failure at the end of the day. You need to go through, when you make these lists, and make differences between the wants and the needs. If you just want to have something done, and it would be nice if it was, great. But it doesn't need to be on your to-do list. It doesn't need to be something that would make you feel like a failure if it wasn't done. Put it on a wish list that's somewhere down the road you can get to at some point. Is what's going to happen is you're going to do this day by day and tack on what you have done this day and tack what you didn't onto the next day, while you continue to add more to that as well. What you're doing is creating overwhelm for yourself on top of your day-to-day activities with your kids' sports, your kids' schools, your husband's lunches, all of the other things that you have to do. Once the overwhelm gets so bad, you're going to create what we call paralysis, and you're not going to get shit done because you can't move. You have so many things that you want to do that your brain shuts down and stops telling your body to get your ass up and do it. The worst part, you're now in this paralysis and you've gotten nothing done. Mom is sitting on the couch and feels like a failure, and you start the guilt cycle. And once the guilt cycle starts, we don't even know where it's going to go. It can cycle into mental health problems and a cluster of other things, like not getting anything done. Cutting your list down to a quarter of what the list is usually what is needed. That's usually what you're capable of taking off of that list, is 75% of the things that you put on it. I know that the list makes you feel like you're accomplished, and it's nice when you can check a bunch off that list. But if you have kids, especially multiple, and a husband and a family and a home to take care of, you're setting yourself up for failure when you should be setting yourself up for success. Choose those 2 or 3 things on that list that are absolutely must be done. Check those 3 babies off, and then go to your want list. That is a completely separate place that you don't ever have to look at unless your 2 or 3 things for the day are done. The tool that I want to give you today is just that. You pick your top 2 or 3 that must be accomplished for the day for your family to run smoothly, and get those done. Most of your to-do list isn't survival. It is just pressure that we do not need. You don't need to do more. You need to do less. And overwhelm isn't laziness. When you start feeling overwhelmed, it's not because you're lazy. It's because you're taking on too much. Even fictional things that don't need to be done at all. And we do that to ourselves. I do it. I do it all day, every day. That's why I haven't been out here recording and teaching people what I love to do. And it's because we all do it, and we can't help it. It's almost for the love. We do it for them, and we will add on and want to accomplish and be the best and do the most. And we do it to ourselves. So that is my tip for today, is to cut that list down to the top 2 or 3, and the rest of it put on a wish list. Get in your notes in your phone, or if you're like me and like to write, put it in the back of the book, away from where you start your new to-do list, and make sure that you keep it off of there. Go accomplish those things in between the days when you don't have such a chaotic day and your top 2 or 3 on the must-haves is done. Once the overwhelm and laziness come in, your nervous system will go on strike. This is where depression and things that are a little more serious can start to come into play. And so, really taking the time to take care of yourself, even if it's just to make a smaller list, is so important. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today in all of my chaos. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, just like you. I'm running a home with 4 kids and a husband and dogs and sports and 3 teenagers and a toddler. And so if this was helpful and you want to share your chaotic moments in the comments, I would love that, because is what I would love to do here is share my health and wellness coaching and my nursing mental health with you guys in ways that is actually answering real questions. And these are questions that I needed answered for myself. And there are still plenty of others, because I'm not perfect. And honestly, helping other people is what helps me get through my days and remember that we are all human and we are moms. And so even though we think we are superhuman, there's a part of us that needs to be brought back down to earth sometimes. And I want you to always remember that mama's mental health comes first, and anything after is just icing on the cake. Please subscribe, join me, like this video, leave your chaos of your family and your kids in the comments. I would love to answer any questions, give you tips on anything that I've learned in the last 15 years of coaching people, of what helps get through certain parts of the day and what might help make you more organized. I'm here to help. Please reach out. Again, I'm Lindsay. It's great to meet you. I can't wait to talk.